This is Angry Buster 27's most controversial cartoon episodes. I was actually hoping the Magic School Bus episode blows its top for some reason would be on this list, but because the particular part, well, I'll explain in another video. But let's just get on with the list. Number 10, Exercise Bluey. For those who are unfamiliar with the show, Bluey is an Australian animated television series that's been on the air since 2018. It airs on Disney Plus and Disney Junior here in the United States. This particular episode, however, is raising a lot of eyebrows. I can assure you that it gets into the sensitive topic of fat shaming because the main character's father ends up weighing a lot, and as a result, the main character, Bluey, is encouraging her dad to exercise, which is basically fat shaming. And even though that the episode does have a good purpose, there's a lot of back and forth between many parents. I can assure you there was a lot of editing that had to be done when it aired here in the United States. Number 9, Electric Soldier Porygon, Pokemon. Pokemon is no stranger to controversy, this episode included. In the episode, the gang wants to find out why the Pokemon ball is malfunctioning. And so they go to the nearest Pokemon Center. When they find out, later on, they discover what the hell's going on. And when they're under attack, Pikachu shoots at missiles with his power. And the result includes flickering lights that blink at a rate of 12 hertz for 6 seconds straight, and the result led to not one but 685 Japanese kids to wind up in hospitals from seizures and convulsions. I am not kidding. And it was so bad that they referred to the episode as Pokemon Shock. I mean, really good nickname for an incident, huh? Yeah, don't you agree? Number 8, Flying Dupes, Tailspin. For those who are unfamiliar with Tailspin, Tailspin was a short-lived animated spin-off of the animated film Jungle Book, specifically the Disney one. In this incarnation, however, Baloo is a cargo pilot working for a freight business. In the episode, he is given the job of delivering what he thinks is a cuckoo clock to a neighboring country, but in reality, that cuckoo clock is actually a bomb being delivered on behalf of a failing bomb factory in that neighboring country, which is a little too heavy-handed for a kid's cartoon. And ultimately, the episode continued to air periodically on Disney XD until 9/11. It only aired once on Disney Channel. I think it should have been pulled right after it aired for the first time on Toon Disney, in my opinion. Here's a fun fact. This was actually the final episode of the show. Number 7, Man's Best Friend, Ren and Stimpy. This particular episode of Ren and Stimpy was basically the show's downfall. And it was so disturbing. I mean, many people refused to watch episodes post Man's Best Friend because of the blood and guts that Ren inflicts on the man that basically buys the two at a pet store. I mean, he's basically beating the guy with an oar, and it was just gruesome to watch. I'm probably guessing many parents would have to agree. Number 6, Blame It on Lisa, The Simpsons. The Simpsons is obviously no stranger to controversy, this episode being one of them. This episode sees the titular family traveling to Brazil, specifically Rio, to find an orphan that Lisa is sponsoring. However, there are a lot of offbeat stereotypes in the episode that Brazilians were not too happy about, including one with street crime, rat infestations, and so forth. And even a tour board based out of Rio even threatened Fox with lawsuits. And no, I'm not kidding. They even threatened Fox with lawsuits. Yeah, I could totally understand why this episode is so controversial and deserves to be on my list. Number 5, with apologies to Jesse Jackson, South Park. Why am I not surprised? I know why. It's South Park. This particular episode of South Park ushered in not one, but 43 uses of the N-word, completely uncensored. I am not kidding. I saw this episode and I'm really outraged about how many times they used the N-word. I mean, some people actually praised the episode for educating the power of the word. Others saw things much differently. And let me tell you, I saw things much differently because of how offensive it was and how insulting it was to people. I mean, a lot of people found it completely outrageous and way out of hand. Yeah. Not surprisingly, pretty typical for South Park, though. Number 4, Arthur's big hit, Arthur. How can a controversial episode of such a lighthearted cartoon wind up on this list? Well, violence, of course. This particular episode of Arthur received a lot of negative attention after Arthur punches DW in a fit of rage because she accidentally destroyed his plane. I mean, come on, it's just a plane, for crying out loud. Oh, and to add even more craziness to the mix, even though Arthur gets grounded by his parents, later on in the episode, he gets a taste of his own medicine when Binky punches him, causing him to fall to the ground later on. At least he learned his lesson, but a lot of people actually did not like the episode because of the criticism that came along with it. I can assure you, this, in my opinion, was one of the worst episodes of the show. Even Mark Brown thought it was the worst. Number 3, Mr. Skinny Legs, Peppa Pig. Even though annoying, Peppa Pig is pretty much known for sharing good morals, including the fact that spiders are not toxic. Well, that is true in the United Kingdom where the show was created. But that's totally the opposite in Australia because, yes, there are harmful spiders in Australia and they can be deadly. Because of this, the Australian Broadcasting Company banned the episode before it aired, and it was a smart move for Australia to do that because, let me tell you, these bad boys in Australia, they can literally kill you within seconds. Number 2, 200 South Park. Yep, Trey Parker and Matt Stone South Park is showing up for a second time. And they've gone way too far with this one. The reason is because this particular episode was making fun of the Muslim faith. Primarily, having the Prophet Muhammad walking around in a bear costume, which is deeply offensive to a lot of people. This particular episode received a lot of criticism and sparked riots among Muslim communities, and of course, could have been connected to a car bomb attempt in Times Square. I don't know if this was actually connected to that incident, but if it was, let me know in the comments below. And number 1, Partial Terms of Endearment, Family Guy. Yep, we conclude with an episode of Family Guy. In the episode, Lois becomes the surrogate mother for a couple who ends up dying in a car accident. Then she and Peter go down a slippery slope whether to bring the baby into the world for adoption or to abort the fetus. This ends up with a lot of back and forth between the couple, and not only that, they end up getting anti-abortion groups in their front yard. I am not kidding. This episode ended up being banned by the Fox Broadcasting Service because of the sensitive topic. Yeah, why am I not surprised? Alright, so that was my top 10 most controversial cartoon episodes list. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to check out our Facebook and Twitter pages, which are the links in the description below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to have a good weekend and have a great day.